The organizers of the Conservative Political Action Conference, known as CPAC, are declining Facebook's invitation to attend tomorrow's meeting with Mark Zuckerberg, who runs the company, founded it, and other conservative leaders. The sit-down is part of Mark Zuckerberg's attempt to assure the conservatives that the social network does not suppress conservative news. But CPAC chief Matt Schlapp isn't buying it, saying, and I quote, "If Facebook wants the benefit of the doubt, they need to start with complete transparency on how decisions are made concerning its news feeds. This is much bigger than just having a meeting and winning the day's news cycle." I'll tell you, he's right. It's bigger than one meeting. One of our own Intel regulars, conservative activist Jan Morgan, was blocked by Facebook for 30 days from posting because she, quote, repeatedly posted things that aren't within the guidelines of the communities. And Jan, I think one of these was your criticism of the president's plan to bring Syrian refugees to our country.
Exactly.
So you were banned, correct? Jan Morgan, everybody, joining us now.
It was just a Fox News video from your show where I simply was commenting about the Syrian refugees, and all I said was the hand that President Obama is extending is not a humanitarian hand. It is a personal invitation to an open invasion by enemies. You know, that's what I said, and that was just a video from your show, and Facebook called it abusive content.
They said, okay, you're basically in Facebook jail.
Shut me down for 30 days, and thank goodness I had the Fox News Business Network card to pull and say, you know, I'm going to talk about this on Trish's show. But unfortunately, most of the conservatives out there don't have that connection.
I'm going to talk about this on Trish's show.
What happened is instantly I got an email from Facebook saying this was a mistake and you should be back on within the hour. And, of course, I was. But, Trish, you know, I think this whole thing that's happening in California with Zuckerberg is a big smoke and screen PR opportunity. The people they invited are not the conservatives who are being really hard hit by Facebook's censorship. What they're talking about is trending. Okay, so their news slots aren't getting the high trending numbers. What I'm talking about is much more serious, where they're actually shutting down entire pages of conservatives and punishing us for 30 days and 7 days at a time over nothing.
Other than yourself are seeing this.
Conservatives, oh my gosh, there's tons of them, like Doug Giles with Clash Daily, Chicks on the Right. There are tons of us out there who don't have the media outlet like Glenn Beck has, or S.E. Coop, or some of the other larger names. But so we don't have a way to go on national TV and complain about it. Well, I do now because of you, but the rest of those folks don't, and therein lies the rub.
You know, it's a private company, so, you know, if they decided they wanted to just ban conservative news altogether, I guess they could do that. You just might find not as much usership among conservatives on Facebook.
And I agree with you, and I, as a private business owner, as a gun range owner, and, well, how would you like it, Trish, if a Senate committee inquiry was set out on your show to say, well, you know, we think you're putting a little bit too much conservative stuff on there. You're not being subjective and objective. So, I mean, how would you like that?
I guess
so,
part
yes,
of the problem,
as a private business, they have a right.
Part of the problem, though, Jan, is that they're presenting themselves as not having any bias whatsoever. They're saying, look, these are just algorithms, and we have no actual editorial input. And they're very proud of that, and they really state this as their platform. And no, it doesn't seem to be true, because at the end of the day, there are still human beings involved, and human beings, we all have biases, like it or not.
Exactly. Yes, and that's true. And really the only alternative here is for conservatives to have a social media, a social network alternative, because I do firmly believe that Mark Zuckerberg has every right to keep his company private and do what he wants to do with it. However, I do wish, as you said, that he would just come out and say, okay, so yeah, not only am I liberal, my staff is liberal, I can't control what the college people do that work on my staff as far as their filtering, but hey, it's my business and that's the way we're going to run it. Just be upfront about it.
All right, so Jan, get going. Start working on it. Anyway, you know, that may be the free market answer to all of this, but in the meantime, you need to be more upfront, I think, if you're Facebook and you are, in fact, judging
or at least
stories.
listen to other people besides those big names that never have had their pages blocked. I would be interested in knowing how many of the people he's meeting with have actually had their pages shut down for days on end.
Todd Starnes, who comes on this show as well, is one of our contributors. He ran into this, not just you. I know that there's many, many, many people. But as always, good to see you. Thank you very much, Jan.
Good to see you too, Trish.